Do it all with Steel Battery. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Oh my goodness, Kim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I am a little bit beat up, a little bit tired.
Why is that, Ryan?
Yeah, I've been event hosting yet again. I guess it seems like every time I start one of these episodes, I've just come off hosting an event. Really got to start booking these a little bit differently. Who's booking these? That's me. So, I was in Barrington, Nova Scotia, South Shore, co-hosting the Canadian Championships for axe throwing. It was a big 4-day event. It was organized by the Nova Lumberjack Society and Wild Axe Productions. So Susie, Darren, past guests on our show, and then of course Tyler Wenzel, who we had our first episode. He was throwing there. I threw there as well. Susie threw, and it was just a jam-packed 4 days. They're long days. Whenever you're event hosting, I don't know if you've ever been involved with that, but there's just like a million details that go into it, and then you plan, and then all of a sudden like a starting gun goes off, and then it just starts, and it is an absolute roller coaster for 4 days, I guess, for us. And it's emotionally draining. It's physically draining. But at the end of it, feel pretty good about it. It was a great weekend. We had 90 competitors.
That's really impressive.
7 countries. It was not 70 countries. That would be insane. Yeah, no, 7 countries. And people from across Canada as far as the Yukon. It was an amazing event. And it was... it's the first time we've hosted it since 2019.
Okay.
And since then, the level of competition has come up so much. Like the span of first place and 20th place in the men's division was like one throw worth of points, 5 points, which is nothing, right? So it was an amazing few days, and I had a great time, but I'm very tired. I think my voice is a little raspy from being on the mic a little bit.
That's okay. Yeah. That's all right. You're a busy man.
That's okay.
I mean, but what's really cool is that you are so immersed in the sport. Not only do you still play sometimes? Yeah,
I threw in this, and I did okay. I didn't do anything spectacular. I didn't win it, of course, but Pierre Kaminski from Germany actually won it in a knockout final with Canadian John Buchanan. It was a great finish. He won the men's division. I still compete a bit, but nothing like I used to. I basically retired from timber sports, lumberjack competitions back in 2018. It was my last season, and really haven't focused much on the competition side since then.
Right. So
results are what you make them to be through training, preparation, focus, dedication, all of those, nutrition, all of those things build towards performance. I know you're well aware of that. You're a competitive golfer. All of those things need to be part of a program to equal excellence. And I'm not putting that time in. However, our guest today she is a 2-time world champion in double bit axe throwing, reigning champion, I might add. She's also coming off a win at the Canadian Championships in Barrington in the women's division yesterday. And, look what I have. Her lovely first place trophy. We're going to set that right here. I'm so excited to have her here all the way from County Wicklow in Ireland.
That's impressive.
She stayed an extra day just to speak with us, Kim.
I love that.
Please welcome to Double Bitter, Ceola McGowan. There she is. Hey, Ceola.
Hi, guys.
Oh, my goodness. You stuck around just for this.
Just for this.
Just for this.
Just for you guys.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Congrats. This is quite the trophy you have here. It's even got the double bit axe. I love that. I guess, let's start there. I mean, obviously, we're just coming off. It's not even 24 hours since you won this. I mean, it was an epic final. You're battling it out with 2 top Canadian throwers, Susie Atwood, who was here last week, Felicia Townsend. Talk us through that. I mean, what's going through your mind when you're up to the line on a big competition like that at the very end?
It's so nerve-wracking, especially, I only really squeaked through into the finals. It was a tough semi-final round. The wind was picking up. I throw a particularly light axe in comparison to what other people would. So I have a sharp throw because I need to get it out of the air as soon as possible, but it doesn't always work in my favor. So literally squeaked into the finals. The competition was fierce, guys. It was hard. And when I got down to the final 3 and it was myself, Susie and Felicia, there was something about it that just felt like, it felt correct. Like it felt like it should be us 3.
Yeah.
And then Susie kind of pointed out at the end, she was kind of like, oh, the team's together again, because we had met up in Asgard earlier in the year and we formed a team.
Nice.
We were the Axed Kunigenin, which is Axe Queens. So it was so much fun. So yeah, I kind of like, something felt right. I didn't know what it was, but I was just kind of, this is correct.
Sounds like the zone. You're in the zone.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like we should have a little toast to a recently won championship. What do you think, Kim? What do you have on, what's on the slate for today? What do we have?
In terms of whiskey, well, this was also brought in from Ireland because of our guest.
Oh, thank you, Ceola.
You're so thank you. So this is Glendalough. It's double barrel Irish whiskey. And I am so excited to try it because, not only because you brought it, but it's also finished in American bourbon barrels. My fave.
Big bourbon fan. I love it.
Big bourbon guy. Okay, so are we going to try this
Yeah, let's do it.
on its own?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Have you had this whiskey before?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I never have either.
It's a whole new world.
I'm very excited. Have you tried this before, Kill? Is this one that you go to?
This is one of the ones that I like. I do every single time I go to the UK competition, bring a bottle of this over for Ian and Sharon, the two hosties.
The Radmores. Love the Radmores.
So,
Little toast.
I thought it would be good for here.
And the traditional Irish cheers, sláinte.
Sláinte.
Is that to your health?
Yes.
Yes, I love that.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's it for today's episode. I'm going to take that bottle and head on out of here. Thank you, Ceola. Thank you, Kim. Damn, that's good.
Honestly, that is so delicious. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's smooth.
That is so tasty. I've got to spend a little bit of time. Let's hand those back over because I think while
what color are you going to be? Let's
pick some. Oh, we got to have our double bitter stirs.
Ooh.
Get a very special one. We're going to send you home with one of those.
Excellent.
Been fortunate enough to spend a little bit of time in Ireland earlier this summer and then last year as well. And I've grown a real fondness for Irish single malts. There is some delicious stuff. Glendalough, this is my first time having it. Delicious. It doesn't surprise me one bit. Redbreast is another one that I've discovered that I just absolutely love. And because I was only really, tell more. I was only familiar, and I think others might be similar in, Jameson is kind of the standard fare. Like it's around and it's good. It's good. Whiskey's fine. But for a nice sipping single malt, there's some really fantastic whiskeys in Ireland. So what are we doing with this fine whiskey today, Kim?
Well, as per usual, we are going to do an old-fashioned, but a smoked old-fashioned. So we are doing things slightly differently here with the wood chips. You actually handcrafted these wood chips.
I did.
Tell us about these.
Well, I wanted to have, so every episode we want to tailor our drink to the guest. And where you're coming all the way from Ireland, obviously we have an Irish whiskey, but I wanted to take it a step further. I wanted to have an Irish wood that we could use for smoking. And we don't have a lot of the same tree species here that you have in Ireland, but I did know of one Sitka spruce that I was able to harvest a small piece of a branch off of. So I took that and I actually shaved a bunch of wood shavings and made those so that we're going to try and smoke those here today.
Amazing.
So we're going to finish this drink with some Sitka spruce smoke.
Yeah. And since this has been finished in American bourbon barrels, I have a friend who makes homemade bourbon cherries. So we're going to add that to the mix. And then in terms of bitters, I'm choosing a Turkish tobacco bitter. I feel like it's going to really enhance the smoke that we have going on in here. So
Lovely.
Yeah, I can get started on that.
Let's do it. Yeah.
In this country, we believe in what we're made of. Grit. Drive. The will it takes to be different. We've been called to serve this great land. Because we were made for this.
While Kim's jumping into that, I want to go back just a couple of years. I think it was the last time you were in Canada would have been 2022. Is that correct for the World Championships? Yeah. Okay. So that was also in Barrington. That was a big event, different vibe, different feel than this weekend where we had an outdoor event at Wild Axe Park. We were in the arena. We were filming it for television. We had all the cameras on you. And you won it. And you took home a world title, which was absolutely incredible. It was amazing to watch. Your first, which I think the first is the hardest to win, obviously. You got to get over that hump. What was that experience like for you? And how did that differ from this weekend where, the competition level, as you said, was incredibly high. But, World Championship, Canadian Championship, really it's about who shows up. But what was that World Championship experience like for you back in 2022?
The World Championship was super intense.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because I knew there was going to be television crews there. I had never been to Canada before, so it was a particularly big trip in my mind. And I was just kind of nervous about how I was going to get on in terms of the weather. I had previously struggled in Germany with a lot of heat, half Irish, half Scottish. We don't do very well in the sun. And I knew it was going to be indoors. So I was kind of, I know myself that I do a lot of outdoor training and I will train in all types of weather conditions in order to not be caught off guard by something on the day.
Right.
But now that it was going to be indoors, you're taking out all of those external elements, sunlight, wind, rain, even kind of like moisture content to a point. You're getting rid of humidity. Yeah, exactly. Your grip, everything. And sometimes if, I wanted to be pre-prepared in terms of my grip in case that went. So you needed to have kind of like chalk on hand because a lot of the times you'll see throwers pat their hand in the dirt just underneath them to kind of give them a little bit of a layer. You won't have that indoors. So a lot of planning and preparation kind of went into just even preparing to come over for Canada the first time. And that was stressful.
I bet. What sort of training were you putting in? Like talking about the preparation, what sort of training are you putting in going into that? Is it every day, twice a day, or is it every second day? Is it league nights? Like what are you doing? I think a lot of throwers out there be curious, like how are you preparing? And obviously whatever you're doing is working. You're winning championships, and that the results speak for themselves.
So I would kind of, on the run up to a competition, I would try to throw kind of a minimum of about 3 times a week. I do meet up once a week with the Wicklow Axe Throwers in Newtown, Mount Kennedy. That's my club. And we train there, and that's in the barn. So it's a kind of an outdoor facing barn. So there's no, it's not like closed in. So it's not very temperature controlled. So it's in the winter, it is cold. But it takes out kind of like the wind and sun element. And then I've got garden targets at home.
Yeah.
So I will swap between, I get the best of both worlds in a sense, because I can get a bit of coverage from the indoors. I can test my skill then on the outdoors. Where I live, woo, fire.
Oh,
I like it.
Where I live, it is windy most of the time. So I'm
got some pretty good flames over there. We did have concerns about the curls just taking off, and we're indoors. It's not an open flame. We're fine.
Listen, we just all good. The party really, really started.
Yeah,
guys.
I like
it's
it.
Fine. It's fine.
Like a mini campfire over there. With
Carry
Kim.
on.
So I get the best of both worlds, getting to kind of practice like in an indoor space and an outdoor space. And then sometimes if the weather conditions don't meet what I kind of expect coming, I will, I'll get up early in the morning and then I'll use the morning dew from the grass on my hands to kind of like simulate like clammy hands. And I'll do
Wow.
like different things to kind of play around with different grips and textures and techniques. And I have an array of different axes that smells delicious.
Wait till you taste it.
I do have a lot of different axes as well. They've got different balance points. They've got different handle wood types, handle shapes.
Really?
So I just kind of, I love changing it up every now and then just to make sure that I still can adjust, because in the heat of a competition, you don't know if your axe is going to break, if, you know, somebody picks up your axe and accidentally walks away with it, and then somebody says, here, you can throw mine. You know, that's never happened, but it could.
Yeah,
So
it could, yeah.
those are the kind of training things I do. This looks adorable.
Have a sip. Don't wait. I mean, that's meant for you. That's especially
no,
that is the Ceola McGowan special.
Honestly, it is.
I mean,
yes.
that's going to be hard to recreate that, I think, but we will make the recipe available as with our other drinks. I find that super interesting that you're pushing yourself in training to, I would say, outside of the comfort zone. It sounds like, I mean that, you know, I'm going to go out in the dew and get my hands wet. It's to throw to simulate. I don't think a lot of throwers are doing that. I'm not doing that. I mean, and you know,
what inspired you to actually do that?
The couple of competitions. So actually, I think like if anybody is looking to up their game in a competition sport like axe throwing, the best training is more competitions, because the competitions is where I have made all my learnings. So, for instance, in Asgard, when it was like super hot and clammy, and then now I've got sticky hands and I'm trying to throw, but the tackiness on the handle isn't working. I'm dropping the axe, my release point is gone. So then and it was similar in Canada. Because we were indoors, yes, but the AC was not working.
That's right.
And the fan was blowing, extracting hot air from the outside into the arena.
That's
so
right.
it was actually clammier in the arena than it was outside. And my hand grip was terrifying. It worked, but it was like, you know, I was kind of like, I had done clammy tests before, but it just not at that level.
Did you find that it would stick so that, you know, if your hand's gripping it and it's sticking, is it that the release point becomes lower? You're throwing
Much
low
lower.
often, because that's I find what happens to me if my hands are sticky. You know, it's just not sliding out of your hands at the right point. So it's finishing a bit lower, and that could be the difference of a bullseye and a one, or maybe low with the target. Versus if it's too slippery, you know, too much gravel, too much chalk. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
And you release and it comes out a little bit too soon and goes a bit high and sails high. Like there's those minute details that you're changing. And I just find you do an excellent job of recovering. I think that's one of the things that makes you such a fantastic thrower that I notice is if you do have a throw that's maybe a lower scoring throw, a 2 or even an outside 3, like something that's like, oh, that's not what I was after, you know, chasing 4s and 5s. I find you're very good at recovering and figuring out what went wrong in that throw, consciously making that adjustment on the fly and fixing it. And, you know, I think that's something that a lot of throwers struggle with. They'll let that last throw
stick in their heads,
really affect them.
Yeah.
And then it affects them going forward rather than, I think in your case, what my you know, the way I see it anyway, is that you're seeing it almost as an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I think like, and I say this to throwers all the time, your last throw counts for nothing. It's out of your control now and you can't do anything about it. It's your next throw. Kind of like, so pick that axe up again and go.
Oh man, I love that. Well, speaking of going, I think we need to go and have a little cheers. Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Look at this. This looks beautiful, Kim. So tell us what we should be expecting on this one.
Okay. There's a lot of really nice smokiness there. However, when we were sipping our celebratory drink, you probably would have noticed that there's some butterscotch notes on the tongue. You've also got some very like sweet tastes here. So a little bit of baking spice, which is coming through, thankfully, because I love the bourbon coming through. And you get a lot of baking spices with bourbon too. But a lot of dried fruit is noted on this, both on the nose and while you taste it. So I think we're not really getting too much citrus, although
No, not as much on this one.
No.
Like some of the ones where we had maybe some orange or there, you said you had that flavor profile. But I find with this one, like you say, there's a sweetness. But I also wonder, like, are those cherries, do they automatically just start kind of dumping a bit of that kind of bourbon and cherry flavor right away? Or is it something that you would let sit?
No.
And then kind of
There would be definitely some of the cherry and the bourbon coming through because of the cherries, almost instantly. But a lot of the sweetness is coming from the simple syrup, but there will be a little bit of sweetness coming from the cherry as well.
A lot of Sitka in there too.
Yeah, I really like the smokiness.
That's a good strong Irish. We brought a bit of the peat bog there, you know.
When it counts, Steel delivers. One battery, over 60 tools. All-day performance, all-day comfort, all-day power. Ready for any job. Clearing, cutting, trimming, shaping. Steel Pro Battery. Built for work.
Speaking of bogs, we were throwing in a bog for one of our venues there this weekend.
Oh my God.
Flattened out the hot venue B. I was down there.
That was an experience.
Yeah,
that was something else.
It was, yeah. So we had at the competition basically two different sites that you could throw at, and the competitors would throw at each, but at different times. So it was kind of even, but it was a way of running the competition more efficiently, having multiple venues so that you have more throwers throwing at a time, but because they're being scored independently at two different venues, everything's just kind of rolling along quicker. But one of the venues was kind of down in a new area that Darren Hudson had created at his park that he'd never really used before. And it was great. It worked out fine, but it was like kind of a swampy area, but it was dry. It was fine. But there's really no shade. So it was really hot down there, and we were powering the site with a solar panel. We were running everything. So I just kept saying that site was sponsored by the sun. That was our primary sponsor for Venue B. It was ripping hot down there, but, man, what a fun weekend. What does Ceola McGowan get up to when she's not traveling the world, being a competitive axe thrower, winning titles all over the place? What are you up to?
Just like, the regular 9 to 5, I suppose.
What is the
I don't think your 9 to 5 is all that regular. So you have to explain that just a bit more.
So I do work for a company called O'Call Consulting.
Mm-hmm.
I work from home, and which affords me great flexibility to do stuff in the evening because I don't have to commute in and out of offices all the time.
Nice.
I do get to go to visit client spaces every so often, which breaks up the week, and that's lovely. Mm-hmm. And my boss, Jessica, is the best boss in the whole wide world. She supports my journeys, not only by allowing me time off, she also sponsored me for the World Championships one of the years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nice.
That's amazing.
I'm definitely giving her a shout out here. So I would typically because I'm working from home, I do like to fill the evenings with something that will get me out the door. One of those things is the gym. One of those things is axe throwing. And then the third, pole dancing.
I love that. That's so great. How long have you been doing that for?
I've been pole dancing on and off for maybe like 10 years. So started off in Sligo. Then when I moved up to Dublin, I found a new studio space. Then I discovered axe throwing. I couldn't afford both at the time. Stuck with axe throwing. Then moved back to Sligo, back to Dublin, found a new studio. And now that studio is called Flow Fitness. And I also teach pole dancing in that studio. Nice. So yeah, it kind of went from a little side exercise hobby into something more. And again, it's one of the things I love. It's another tight-knit community that's full of love and encouragement. Mm-hmm. And nice. Again, as much as I love to see the women grow in the sport of axe throwing, you can see the confidence levels and stuff like that. It's the exact same for pole dancing. Like the two are like the polar opposites in a weird kind of way. They're the exact same. So yeah, I've got my pole fam and I've got my axe fam, and I love them both.
What drew you to that side? What drew you to the pole dancing side?
A friend in Sligo, we had gone to a juggling convention one year in Belfast.
A
And
juggling convention?
Yeah, because I was in circus school.
What? Just another
So
random
just,
fact.
again, we're going
I
to
was
note on that
circus
and
club.
we'll come back to that later.
So we had gone
Break out the
to
cherries.
a juggling. We had gone to a juggling convention, and she was so excited that she thought we were going to see like a pole dance performance. And then the following year, it wasn't a pole dance performance, and she was gutted. And then the following year, a girl called Jane started up a studio in town, and my friend was kind of like, "We need to go to this. We need to try this class." And I was kind of like, I'm not doing that. Like, no. So like the first class I went to, I was kind of like, just to support her. And I remember I went in like leggings and a string top, and I was kind of like, all right, okay. And they were like, you don't need to take off your clothes for this, this first kind of bit, but you will need skin contact for the pole if you want to advance in your climbs and your seats and blah, 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 blah. But if you're, you don't have to, you don't have to wear short shorts. You can wear kind of like quarter lengths. And I was like, okay. So the next class I came in and wore quarter lengths. The next class I came in and I had the quarter lengths, but other girls had like shorts, and they were starting to go like upside down, and they were starting to do these seats. And I was kind of like, hang on.
Like girls that you started with?
Yeah, girls that I'd started with. And I was kind of like,
Going ahead of you.
Yeah,
A little competitive level was kicking in.
Oh, I'm not competitive. I don't know what you're talking about. So then it was hot pants. And now it's whatever I like, because you know what? Nobody's judging me in that space. And that's part of the reason why I love it.
So liberating.
Yeah.
Cheers. I think that's wonderful. I think that's a wonderful message.
It is.
Be yourself. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
So, how are you balancing those two things there? How often are you training pole dancing? How often are you training axe throwing? Like, how do you balance those? And then, and is that something you're competing in as well, or is it just more? This is how I train. This is a fitness thing. It's something I love to do, and the people I love to be around. Like, is it something you're competing in as well?
A few people have suggested that I could compete, but I'm also very aware of my limits, and I know how competitive I am, and I just don't think I want to put myself in the position. Like when you see, like Ireland has like a 3-time doubles world champion pole dancing duo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no, the sport is quite big, and it's starting to get a bigger. But like a lot of people like in pole that are like up at that level, you're talking about gymnastics level, like
right.
So
okay,
just,
that would make sense.
Just no,
Yeah.
just no. I'm gonna do the things that I love. Like in the studio, Aoife will put on a showcase once a year, so you can put together a performance piece where you can show off what you've learned for the year. She organizes photo shoots in studio and away, so I get to kind of still push my limits in terms of hitting that next trick or doing that little performance, but it's more so for me than kind of competing. I wouldn't be, I know myself, I wouldn't be at the level I wanted to be for that. So I'm happy to kind of keep it as just a hobby.
That's okay too, though. I mean, I think it's more about what you get out of it, not necessarily.
Yeah.
If it's giving you a great space that you feel comfortable in, you can be yourself, and you have good people that are around you. That's all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's perfect.
You had said at one point too that maybe, like, I mean, you're doing some coaching, but maybe open your own studio. Is that something that's in the future, do you think?
I don't know. So building a house at the moment, and where I was speaking to my husband, and I was kind of like, husband, I need a space. So we decided that, we'll get the house done, and then the shed can be like a little pole studio area. And that way, if I ever did look to kind of maybe bring a few, even like 1-to-1 classes or something like that up my way, who knows? It is like further down the line, but yeah, why not?
I mean, it could be the first combination
I
axe
was thinking
throwing,
the same
pole
thing.
dancing, right? You could do both. So, full disclosure, Ceola and I, we were a whole crew of us, the whole Axe fam, were hanging out last evening at Susie's place, Susie and Darren's place, after the championships were wrapped up. We were having a great time, just hanging out. And of course, Ceola here, she can't turn off that competitive side. So she's thinking back to the trick shot competition, which was like 3 days previous. It's like, I wonder if I could incorporate the pole to make it unbeatable trick shots. So we're working on various, like we're brainstorming trick shots.
Yes.
We have the upside down Carl Bischoff.
Yeah. No,
which is,
sexy Carl
the
Bischoff.
sexy Carl Bischoff, yeah. Don't know who coined that term. But so Carl Bischoff, he's a good friend, lives out in British Columbia, and he's thrown with us in the past. But he's the only person that throws underhanded.
Yeah.
So he had a shoulder injury years ago, and he had trouble throwing overhand. So he switched to underhand. He shows it's almost like a pistol shot, like a shoot from the hip. And it's also cowboy, so it's really fitting. But man, he's deadly accurate. Like he's an absolutely phenomenal axe thrower.
It's insane to watch.
Everybody loves to do the Carl Bischoff. They love trying to throw that way. It's very difficult. It's incredibly difficult.
Especially with your thumb on the top. Anybody that kind of seems to succeed with it, their hand is kind of down the length of the handle. But Carl specifically has the thumb on top.
And I love trying. It's a lot of fun.
He's so locked in. Like,
he is. It's really impressive.
So next year, you're going to do this upside down on a pole.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a no-brainer. You got the sexy Carl Bischoff. Then you've got the...
it was the flag.
There's a flag. We haven't quite figured out the mechanics on that one. You're going to have to sort that one out.
Like the
golf shot.
The golf shot.
So Matt Pushy is another thrower and an amazing trick shot thrower. You can go on and check out his Instagram. He's got like tons of incredible videos where he's like, I'm going to throw 4 axes at once. I'm going to throw. He does a golf shot where it look like he's swinging it. You love this. The golf shot. He sticks it, then he takes his hat off and whips it, and it lands on the handle, which is sticking up, which is super cool. He also has. I may as well plug this one because it's the greatest throw that I've ever seen. We were in Germany in 2017. And as Asgard at their range, and they had built. It's classic Germans. They built this massive steel structure with a huge pendulum target that swung back and forth. Like the target was huge. It was probably 3-4 feet across. And you would stand at 20 feet and throw, and the target would just swing back and forth and try to hit it. Well, Matt was not challenged at 20 feet, of course, where we normally throw. He backed up to 40. As soon as he hit that, I'm going 60. So he goes to 60 feet and absolutely bombs one out. Like, Brett Favre prime downfield. This thing is locked in, and he sticks it from 60 feet on a moving target. The crowd goes bananas. I think the video had like just millions of views. It's unbelievable. It's you'll find it out there, but absolutely remarkable. And so this is where all these trick shots come from. But the golf shot is a Matt specialty, and I think that would fit very well. You know, from the pole, you can get the golf shot going. I mean,
I'll work it out somehow.
Yeah,
I see millions of views in your future,
or utter cancellation.
It's fine.
It's gonna go one way or the other.
Push the boundaries.
Let's toss that dice.
I mean, you know, you're a pioneer. You can't be the first axe throwing, pole dancer,
trick shot
specialist without, ruffling a few feathers.
Right? Okay. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I love it. See? In for anything. The other thing is if you're the first, you're also automatically the champion. World champion, yet again.
Boom.
She's done it again. One other little tidbit you did let me in on, and I can't let it go. So you've got a bit of a musical background. Done a little bit of singing back in the day, a little bit of guitar playing, and you used to do some gigs. So, I mean, is that something that you see yourself getting back into? Would you ever go to a point where you might start doing gigs again? Anything like that? Campfires after an axe throwing competition?
Campfires after axe throwing competition, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue is that it will literally be the same 4 songs because that's all I can remember how to play anymore.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm always up for kind of kind of like a little sing-songy thing when like people are around and stuff like that. I don't think I'd actually do kind of any performance pieces anymore, but where I live, I don't really go out anymore, like out in the town and stuff like that. Like I used to do a lot of open mics and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
So like if we so happened across an open mic, I would absolutely, why not for the crack?
Yeah.
definitely with the guitar feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because at least I feel like it's kind of like a little bit of a barrier between like
little safety net.
Yeah, a little safety net. But yeah, no, there's been a few times where I pass by the guitar because I have it sitting out in the hall, and I look at it and I'm kind of like, I need to pick that back up again. There's a few songs that are out there that I would love to kind of learn, because, you know, sometimes you get a song and it really resonates with you and you're kind of like, I'd like to put my own kind of spin on that.
Yeah.
But I do have a lot going on, and it does require
Wow.
a lot of time to kind of get back into it. So I can like the ones that I would kind of like stick with are like Christy Moore, Ride On, Zombie by the Cranberries, Save Tonight, those kind of, you know, easy recyclable songs. But yeah.
I don't think anybody would say that Zombie by the Cranberries is an easy recyclable song. I think that's amazing. I'd love to hear you sing that. We're not going to put you on the spot. Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you. How did you get into singing? Were you formally trained? How did you get introduced into that?
My uncle on my mother's side is a bagpiper.
Oh.
And he was also a singer as well. And my granddad on my dad's side is a fiddle player. And my name is Ceola, which is Irish for music.
No, what?
It is.
I mean,
And
it's
then
meant to be.
when you put the full McGowan, translates to Smith. So when you put it together, it's musical Smith.
What? That's amazing.
And I've always just kind of taken to music and instruments. So my granddad taught me how to play the fiddle when I was younger. I self-taught the piano and semi-self-taught the guitar. Dad roped in a friend of his called Mick Wolf to ask what kind of guitar would suit me when I wanted to kind of get kicked into it. So they helped pick out a guitar. That's the guitar I still have today. It's a Walden. It's beautiful. And yeah, he kind of gave me a few lessons, and then the two of us started gigging together.
Aww.
We made a little CD. I have no
That's
idea where it
amazing.
is. Before you ask, I don't know where it is.
We're going to find that, Jamie. We're going to make it happen.
So yeah, and then I used to do like gigs and bits and pieces, and I loved it. I loved performing and
Yeah.
I love singing. But yeah, I kind of I like a lot of things. If I'm doing something, I want to do it well, and
Fair.
I don't have the time to kind of put into gigs. But I would do an open mic. I would do just kind of friends
Yeah.
around the fire, a little bit of a sing song, you know. So long as everybody's very, very drunk.
That's fine. We can make that happen. The next Canadian Championship. We've got our headliner, I think, Kim. What do you think?
You know what? I think there's probably about 4 bottles of whiskey in the back storage room. We can just
Let's
get
do
started
it.
on this right
Perfect.
now.
Let's do it. Let's recycle some
Rock
Zombie
on.
by the Cranberries. Let's do it. Ceola, listen, absolute pleasure having you here. I'm so happy that you stuck around for an extra day. And I cannot believe that you went out and just won a championship just so you could come here and tell us about it and bring your trophy. No, it's an absolute pleasure. And it means a lot to me that you could come here. Thank you so much.
for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you
Really,
for
guys,
coming.
This is wonderful.
Another great drink by Kim Slancha.
you.
Thank you for watching. Great afternoon.
Slancha.
Well, Kim, we just talked with a world champion.
I know. It's pretty great.
How lovely is Ceola?
She's amazing. I'm definitely excited to hang out with her in the future again.
Trip to Ireland in
Yes.
the future? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even get that out. You're all over it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm there. My flight's already booked.
Nice.
Mhm.
I love it. I got to say, like, the Irish axe throwing community, I started getting to know them. Well, I guess 2017, like I was mentioning that trip to Germany, that's where we kind of met these folks originally. And Ceola wasn't there on that one, but over time, we just built this relationship with the Irish axe throwing community, Canada and Ireland. Ireland, we call it. That's our bond.
That's nice.
And they're just such wonderful people, and they've always been really welcoming to us, and vice versa. We welcome them here when they come, and when we go there, they do the same. And I'm sure that they would extend that to you as well. We'll put some calls in. I think Ceola's got you covered there, but it may require an open mic.
The only thing I have to put my foot down about is I will only go if there's a haunted castle in my future.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure there's endless.
Great.
Haunted Castle listeners. I don't think that's a shortage.
I need to meet a banshee.
What's a banshee? Explain that.
We'll catch you up to speed later.
All right, let's leave our viewers wanting more on this episode of Double Bitter. Hey, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed our interview with Ceola McGowan. Thanks to our sponsors, Steel Canada, the Timber Lounge, Wild Axe Productions, Clever Barkeep, and all the folks that are behind us in this podcast. And a shout out to Doug Folkens, providing some of our music, and of course the guys right here at B&V, Mark and Jamie. They're amazing. You're amazing, Kim.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you all for watching. Recipe in the bio. Be sure to join us again for another episode of Double Bitter.